Screensavers. I'm Kate Patello.
Yeah, so what of it? I'm Leo LaPorte.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
Thanks
fine.
for joining us. Coming up in today's show, we're going to show you how to calibrate your your computer's monitor color.
All right, that was like me talking about the coin cost.
Yeah, we're going to calibrate. And actually, we're going to show you two ways to do it. One with a color sucker, and then one just like with the website.
And if you don't know what a color sucker is, you're about to find out.
You're not alone.
Also, you're not alone, and you're going to find out. Also, put the power of building a city from scratch in the palm of your hand. Power.
Perfect fit. Then later, Patrick Norton is here with the numbers. We're going to compare Windows 98 SE to Windows 2000. You might be surprised by the speed demon in this set.
All right, this is going to be cool. Now, before we introduce today's topic in the chat room, let's check the final results of our last poll. The question was, did the net make you do it? Can you blame the net for your behavior?
No.
93% of you say no. Thank you.
7% are spineless losers.
I was going to say something nice just then, like my faith in the viewers is upheld, but, you know, the rest of you...
I choose to look at the negative.
Well, aren't you a negative Nelly?
All right, let's do our question
empty
today.
Guy.
Let's do our question today. Does at home deserve the death penalty?
Oh, go for it, Leo, because you're an at-home customer.
Yeah, the death. I am, and I'm actually worried about this. The death penalty we use not in the terms of what you might understand a death penalty, but it's a Usenet death penalty. The news groups, which are on a network called Usenet, are managed loosely by the Usenet managers, and they take a look at people, internet service providers, who do not do enough to block spam. They allow spam messages to get on the news groups and allow their internet service provider servers to forward on spam. They've been complaining to At Home, the big cable modem service, they say, for 6 months. At Home, they say, has not given them any response. And so on Tuesday, the dreaded Usenet death penalty goes into effect. What that means is not death at all, but it means that people who use that ISP will no longer be able to post on Usenet. Their messages will be blocked from the news groups.
That's huge.
Well, it is.
There are so many cable modem users that are on At Home.
Yeah. At Home is, if you go through like the big binary news groups, like the MP3 news groups, many of those are posted by cable modem users, right? Because they got the bandwidth. Most of those At Home users. So that's going to really impact the news groups. But on the other hand, I think that it is one of the few sticks that sysadmins can wield against internet service providers that don't do enough to stop spam.
Okay, but they do. Now, most internet service providers do block spam well and are responsible.
There's a couple of things. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what the accusation is from the newsgroup managers, but normally an internet service provider has to do a few things, like the most common one is blocking mail forwarding on their site. You know, it's possible if you haven't set up your sendmail correctly, and until recently, years ago, people didn't set it up this way, they would allow you to use their servers to send mail. So I could enter smtp.athome.com or whatever the address is and use that to send my mail, right?
Okay.
And that was just kind of a courtesy. Well, people stopped allowing that kind of mail forwarding once spammers started to do that, and they start sending out spam over somebody else's account. So now I don't think that At Home is allowing that, but there must be some other issues that are coming up because the newsgroup folks say they're not doing what they need to do, and we're going to give them the death penalty. Do they deserve it?
That's a really good question. What do you think? Take our web poll at thescreensavers.com. And while you're there, let's see, what shall they talk to us about if they click the talk?
Well, what do you think about spam? What is the responsibility of an internet service provider to the community with regards to spam? I mean, do they have an obligation? And if you're an At-Home user, do you think At Home has done what it needs to do, or do you think At Home could do more? Frankly, I think At Home will work this out before Tuesday. I don't think the death penalty will be invoked. It's invoked less and less now because it is such a serious penalty. You can also call us. You don't have to use the website. If you just want to dial 888-989-7879, that's fine. You can also chat. The chat room is at chat.zdnet.com. And the Screensavers room is the main room for the Screensavers activities.
But a side room for Screensavers activities. If you have a netcam, you want to be on television, because it's so much fun. Netcam Cineplex, because by clicking there, you get to talk to Shannon, and you got to talk, Shannon, hey, you guys, what are you doing? You're going to arm wrestle or what? Is this death penalty, yes or no? Okay, well, I guess break it up. Give Shannon and Jen, a little peace. Call them with your netcam so that they'll stop fighting and earn a fabulous magnet, as if that isn't incentive enough.
There it is. Lovely.
As seen on our
and
fridge.
There's our attractive Ken Marcus, our producer.
Our producer.
You know, I'm a little angry at you, though, kid. I have to admit.
Well,
you let me go on the air with this piece of black tape on my elbow.
Oops. I thought that was a fashion statement.
No.
Oh.
Josh.
Okay. Or I thought it was a gaffer's tape patch or something.
It's holding my elbow in.
What else do you have taped down? Anything else? Your hair. So, Josh is joining us on the ZDTV Netcam Network from Houghton, Michigan. How you doing? You're looking at me so mean. I'm not even looking at you, and I can tell. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Leo wants to kill me right now, Josh. I'm tossing you a magnet. Here we go. 1. You want to catch it?
Yeah.
2. I think he missed.
I don't think he's even reacting.
Because I'm like, think fast, Josh.
Saying, oh my gosh, I thought I called Larry King live. What am I doing on this weird show?
You're not Martha Stewart. I'm sorry?
My question is, why is Windows 2000 getting so much more attention than NT ever got?
Well, Windows 2000 is... Are you in a padded room right now, Josh?
No, we put a comforter on our bed so it didn't give off so much white light.
Thanks for doing that. Actually,
it
looks quite good. I think it makes a big difference. We should do that. I'd love to put a comforter
and then we can take naps and commercial breaks.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Actually, Windows 2000 is NT.
It's NT5.
It's the next it's NT5. In fact, for a long time it was called NT5. So if you're an NT lover, and by the way, I like NT a lot, you're going to really like Windows 2000 because basically they've taken the NT kernel and they've done extensive remodeling, and they have added on top of it things that Windows 98 users have come to expect, like plug-and-play, USB support, much broader support for a variety of hardware devices,
gaming,
DirectX 7, so you can play your games. All of that really makes it a very desirable operating system. In fact, a little later on, Patrick's going to come in and give us some numbers that are going to make you, really sit up and take notice. So I actually think Windows 2000 deserves the attention it's getting, but it's not at the expense of Windows NT. It's because it's the next version of Windows NT.
And if you're wondering, Josh, why you're hearing more about it, is that kind of what you're wondering too? Like why people are always Windows 2000? Part of it, I think, is that NT has generally been an operating system either for people running websites at home or in corporate use. That's where it tends to be the most heavily used.
Yeah, it's a server OS.
Consumers are using Windows 95, Windows 98. So the Windows name tag is something very familiar to consumers, and it's something that they're tossing around with a lot of comfort. It means the same thing as NT. But again, you hear less about NT from the general public just because it's more of a corporate operating system that people are using. That's my little theory.
You know what? It's funny because I have a neighbor down the street who wanted to get online. She wanted to get email. And while the normal sort of situation would be you'd set her up on Windows 98, I set her up on NT4.0.
You did?
Because it doesn't crash. It's reliable. Now, 4.0, you needed to be a sysadmin to keep it running. I mean, it wasn't like 98. All the tools were difficult to use. But I was there, right? I could come down when she had a problem and go next door. And you know what's great? She hasn't had a problem in 2 years. It hasn't crashed. It's been very reliable. Windows 2000 is great because she'll have the same reliability, the same power, and she's going to be able to, run the system herself because it's got all this traditional Windows 98-like tools.
So that's going to be the operating system that really brings consumers kind of more into the NT way of thinking.
So, Josh, I got bad news for you. You're going to hear less about NT and more about 2000. But just remember, in your mind, it is NT. February 17th, 2000 comes out. And you know what? You're going to want it. And I think a lot of consumers who would not have looked at NT will be looking at 2000. We'll be covering it very heavily on the screensavers. Hey, thanks, Josh.
Okay.
Appreciate the call. Great idea on the blanket thing. I think we really got to do that.
Where's our blankie? I need a blankie. After the break, we're going to learn how to manage a city on your Palm Pilot.
You can do it.
When the screensavers continues.
Yes, it's time for our weekly alternative segment, a neat tip or trick about an alternative operating system or device. That means not Microsoft Windows. This week's alternative tip, playing that most classic of games in your Palm Pilot, Sim City. How do you like our new set?
Isn't that great?
Uh-oh, you can see him.
Oh, hi, guys. Okay, special effects at their best.
Let me whip it out here. This is the Pilot, and we're going to take a look at what I think is one of the... Did you play SimCity when it came out?
No.
You didn't?
Because it's one. Remember,
it's an
I'm
ADD game.
I can't play those games.
You don't like Age of Empires, Rogue Spirit, anything where you have to do a lot of planning and then stuff's going on all at once?
They're cool. I've just been bad at them.
Well, if you ever played SimCity, now we're not talking SimCity 3000. We're not talking SimCity 2000. We're not even talking SimCity 1000, if there were such a thing. We're talking about the original SimCity, a French company named Atelier, which I think means attic.
I don't know,
as converted this, and it plays very much like the original version. Here it is if you want to take a look at it. Now, you can't get the toolbars on there because of the limited palm screen, but I can scroll up and down. See, there's my park.
Wow.
You want me to do some building? I've got this drop-down menu here that lets me choose. Let's say
my tax dollars at work.
You would like me to build a park, wouldn't you?
I would. You know, I'm a tree hugger. I want a park.
You're a tree hugger. I'm going to build a park in there. Look at that lovely park.
By the way, atelier means studio.
Studio, that's right. It's like a studio apartment. Yeah.
Golden Gate Park here in the middle of my...
And actually, because I am a developer, I'm going to bulldoze that park.
You're a bad man. I just strapped myself to that tree, and you just killed me by bulldozing that tree.
I think I should build some commercial development right on top of this. Yeah, there we go, there we go, there we go. We're going commercial. Now, you can do other things, of course. You can look at the maps.
Doesn't the morale in your town go down or something when you kill all the parks?
Oh, yeah, baby. See, that's what we're looking at, that area there.
Paying their
this
taxes.
town is suitably named. This is called Leoville. I can look at crime.
Leoville is a sad, sad place.
I can look at pollution, which is probably on the rise, thanks to my commercial development.
And you killed the trees.
Isn't this fun?
This is awesome.
I could take a look at my budget here, and I'm actually, my cash flow is negative 164, but I'm all right. I'm not dying yet. This is so much fun. Now, as far as I could tell, it doesn't continue. The city doesn't continue to play as you with the palm off. You know, it's not building this. You're not building a city in your pocket. Only when the palm is on. But if you've ever played, well, that could be fun. But if you've ever played SimCity, this is cool. Now, you have to download it. They don't have a shrink wrap version. Where you go is the atelier.tm website. And where's TM? I don't know. It's a country code. France is FR. I don't know where TM is. You might, is it TM? No. You might remember Calligrapher. That actually is the program that came with my Clio. It was a handwriting recognition software. So they do good stuff. I hope they do more games. By the way, if you're a Scion user, they also do their games for Epoch.
That's very
which
slick.
Is the Scion operating system. I would love to see this on that.
So I can play this on my Jornada?
You might be able to. I don't know. Let's see. Series 5, Series 5 MX, Revo, Oasis, GeoFox 1, and the Palm platforms, but not Windows CE. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. $30. Download it from atelier.tm.
Marvels that is.
Yes, and all the cities are named things like Leoville. Visit our website for the description of SimCity Classic or any of the past alternatives. They're all available at thescreensavers.com. This is a real time sink.
All right.
You can tell. I mean, people waste. Patrick Norton was telling me he almost flunked out of school when he started playing SimCity in college. Imagine now. I'm sorry.
Oh.
That was a secret?
That was really helpful.
Now you can do this, and you can do it in class.
Well, up next, if we can look up from SimCity, we're going to have more answers to your toughest computing questions when the screensaver continues and stuff. So I bulldoze this. Okay, yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Fire department in there.
Okay. You think so?
ZDTVMultimedia.com is the best place for more information about this show. Check out the dish. As we call it, le plater. For your daily serving of Screensavers gossip. Find out what's happening behind the scenes. It's all available just for you at thescreensavers.com.
Find out that Leo is a very big Kevin Mitchell fan.
That's not in there, is it?
It's the quote of the week, baby.
Oh. Rob, that'll get him there. Rob joins us on the phone from Carlsbad, California. Thanks for joining us, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, Kate. Hi, Leo.
Hey, how are you? Is that why the Giants cap is on the computer over there?
No, just for me. We're great. I love when people are all prepared. Hey, how you doing? What's
up? And then
up?
we pay no attention
and
whatsoever.
We're like,
We're great. How are you?
I'm great.
See, now we threw him off. He was all over it.
You really threw me off here.
I'm sorry, Rob. Okay.
Oh, forgive us.
Okay. Hi, Rob. Welcome to the Screensavers.
Hi.
Hi. What can we do for you today?
I'm wondering what the best software is for stop-and-go animation using your NetCam.
Oh, that is a good question.
About this.
Well, yes, I do, but, I had a really cool website, but it's bookmarked on the Macintosh all the way over there. It's
Show 'em how you found it.
All right, here we go. I'll show you how I found it. This is something that should be really helpful to you.
While you're doing that, let me define what he's talking about.
Right.
Stop action. If you've ever watched Gumby, or any one of those animated, like claymation things, it's where they move the object, take a picture. Move the object, take a picture. Move the object, take a picture. Frame by frame, building a film. It really is cool. And, yeah, you can do it with desktop video. In fact, about a year ago, we had Keno Kevin on, and she showed us how to use a program called MGI Video Wave, which is a great $90 video editing package. It supports stop action.
Yep.
So what you'd have is, what kind of camera are you using, or capture card?
I'm using a Logitech.
Oh, you have actually one of those Logitech net cams.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll...
Now, let's tell you what my search string was in Google. I looked up stop motion animation in tags and software. A bunch of ZDTV stuff is
by the way, we found our Keno Kevin how to make stop motion animation.
Yep.
I'll put a link to that in the show notes tonight so that you can go back to that, because he did a great job.
And I think he's talking about MGI Video Wave.
That's what he used.
This led me to a bulletin board about stop motion animation software. But I remember now that this was, let's see, Psi.fi, because it's actually in Finland. /Animato. That's what it is.
Wow, you have memory. Look at that.
There we go. This is a site in Finland, if you'll check this out, chock full of links and resources for making computer animation yourself. So if you'll check this out, again, now it's just been redirected. But if you put in Psi.fi /Animato.
I'll put that also in the show notes.
We'll put that in. It's just tons of links for how to do this yourself.
Let's see the clay animated chicken.
Let's see the
so
clay
we can show people
chicken.
some. So you can get commercial software. The video wave is great. Does it animate?
I don't think he animates.
Oh, I want to see it.
No.
Maybe not.
No. But he
this is how they would do it.
How he did
You could also use the free, this is kind of neat, the free file of the day today on the Call for Help page is an AVI capture utility that does stop motion animation.
What's it called?
It's AVI, actually if you go, don't go to Call for Help.
Call for Help?
That's somebody else owns that page.
Oh, that's right, it's ZDTV.com/Call for Help.
Yeah. Unfortunately, unlike the screensavers, we don't have the budget on Call for Help to buy our own name.
So, okay, where's your free file of the day, man?
Just click down right there.
There it is.
This takes you to the software library, and it will give you a great little program that's for free, completely for free, that does this. And then finally, Kate, you found a number of files on Hot Files that will also do this.
I did. There are a lot of different capture programs. Some of them are free. Some of them cost a huge amount of money.
If you're going to spend money, I would say that for overall editing, transitions, and the stop motion, so that you can do the whole package, the MGI Video Wave 3 is great. It's under $100 and a really nice package. Maybe your mom and dad will buy it for you. And then that way, when you get the big Disney contract, you can buy them a Thunderbird or something and pay them back.
Right.
Okay?
All right.
What kind of movies you want to make?
What?
What kind of movies you want to make?
I want to make stuff with like Lego and stuff like that.
Oh, what? Hey, I'm going to give you, don't tell anybody, I'm going to give you an inside tip, okay?
Okay.
The Cannes Film Festival, remember we did that last year where we gave away awards and stuff for the best little animated shorts?
Yes.
It's coming again. We've got really great prizes this time. So start working now so that you'll be ready when we announce it, all right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I asked you now.
All right. I'm glad you're
smart
prepared.
Guy.
Okay, so Ixnay on the end. K-S-Bay, okay?
Okay.
And we'll see you there.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Take care.
Bye.
By the way, .tm is what now? Turkmenistan.
Yes.
There it is. Turkmenistan.
Which is one of the old Soviet socialist republics, I believe. I may be wrong
I don't know.
I believe it is.
Let's not stretch that too hard.
Don't start flipping.
Okay.
We're not done. Still to come on this very show, Turkmenistan. Fish or fowl? Plus, calibrate your monitor for accurate color display. Also, Windows 98 SE faces off with Windows 2000. Who will be the winner? Plus, it's a vacuum. It's a robot. It's a robotic vacuum. All that and more as the Screensavers Turkmenistan's on.
Back to the Screensavers. I'm Kate Patello.
And I'm Leo Laporte, and I thank you for taking the time to join us. We know you have a choice of television shows, and We appreciate you flying air screensavers.
Even though they're flipping between us and the puppy channel.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No.
Today in the chat room, just come back after the puppy thing is over.
You know.
Does At Home deserve the death penalty? The Usenet administrators have proposed a death penalty effective Tuesday for Excite at Home. This happens from time to time. They say Internet service providers who aren't doing a good job blocking spam, the only weapon, the only tool we have in our arsenal is to block their users from posting on the news groups.
Okay.
In other words, there's so much mail, so much spam mail is being foisted on the news groups through At Home, through Excite at Home, that the only way we can protect the news groups is to block all mail from Excite at Home. Now, of course, the underlying reason for doing this is that you hope that all of the users of the ISP will get up in arms saying, hey, we can't post, fix it, and there'll be consumer pressure then on the ISP, whereas the pressure from the sysadmins didn't work. I suspect this will all be worked out long before the death penalty.
But if not, here's my question to you. If all the other ISPs are doing that and fulfilling those responsibilities and blocking that amount of spam, shouldn't At Home do the same thing? Shouldn't they be required to do what everyone else is doing?
Yeah, it's more complicated than that, though. I don't know the details of what they're not doing. But remember that these system administrators wield a mighty stick, and they wield it kind of without any oversight, right?
Okay.
I mean, that is pretty powerful to say we're going to shut an ISP down, prevent its users from posting on the news groups. Now, it may well be deserved. Now, we both hate spam, and it may well be deserved. I don't know the exact details of what they've done wrong. I don't actually fully understand them. But it scares me a little bit that there's this kind of power that these system administrators, these people that we don't even know their names, can wield. They've done this before, and they've done it quite effectively. Almost always the Internet service provider backs down immediately, says, whoa, okay, we're going to take care of it, and they do. And the death penalty has been enacted a few times and has rarely been kept on for more than, for any length of time. Right, because it's a painful thing.
Okay, are you clicking yes or no? Do they deserve the death penalty?
I don't know enough to know whether they deserve the death penalty.
I don't know what all of the things are. I don't want to vote.
It scares me that that's possible. I have to say, I'm an at-home user, and I guess I'm going to have to trust these sysadmins and say, yeah, they deserve it.
I'm going to say, yeah, they deserve it if they're not doing the same thing that all the other ISPs are doing. Now, you can see what we think now. Tell us what you think. Take our web poll, screensavers.com, and, of course, sound off, because sometimes talking back is a good thing.
In this case, it's a great thing.
It's a really good thing.
You can also chat with us, chat.zdnet.com.
Okay, Katie is joining us on the ZDTV 3Com Netcam Network from Manchester, Missouri. Hey, it's the other redheaded tech chick, Katie. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Katie.
How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Cool.
All right. I've got an interesting question for you guys today.
Okay, shoot.
Well, my hard drive, I think, is getting ready to go. But because Windows keeps locking up on me, for one thing, and for another thing, sectors are going bad.
That's the sure sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Windows locks up anyway.
Yeah. I wanted to know if there's anything else I can do beforehand before I buy a new hard drive.
Well,
you know what Hal says? Dave, I suggest we put the unit back into operation and let it fail.
He also says, Daisy. All right, look, here's the point.
Tell her what's happening.
We're explaining. Now, if you're running... Okay, let me start over. Okay. If you're running a scan disk, as Katie must have, and it tells you that your sectors are going bad, and one of the first signs of a dying hard drive is that once the sectors start to go bad, it just starts to happen over and over. It's a domino effect. So if you're running a thorough scan disk, you go over one at a time, you'll start to see those blocks come, and it'll just domino, and all the sectors will die on you. That does happen, or they will accelerate. So what can you do?
Well, let's ask a question first of all. Sometimes these could be just because Windows is freezing, right? If Windows freezes in the middle of a write, you might have damaged files, not data sectors. Are you saying that when you do a thorough scan, it comes up with bad sectors on the hard drive?
Yes.
It's marking bad blocks.
That's the key.
That's what we're talking about.
If you just because Windows is crashing a lot, and your scan disk runs and it says, oh, here's some more files that don't belong to anything else. You want me to delete these bad clusters, stuff like that. That's kind of because it's crashing. But if you do a thorough scan and it's starting to mark off bad sectors and that's going up, then that's exactly what's happening, a failing hard drive. How old's the hard drive?
It's just a few years old.
These things happen,
that does happen. That's what Katie and I were talking about.
Usually, what I would do is back up and just let it go until it dies.
Yeah.
Or you can get a new hard drive now. I mean, it's up to you.
Now, SpinRite will diagnose your hard drive. Will it help fix your hard drive when it's failing? That's an important question.
ScanDisk doesn't do the best thorough scan. So if you really want a good thorough scan, you can go to grc.com.
Our dear friend,
Corporation.
Steve Gibson.
It's the best disk scanning program out there. Now, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. You can download it from the site. I think it's $40 or $50.
Something like that.
But what it does, it will take all night, maybe even longer, but it will go through your system and really test those sectors, recover any sectors it can, and it'll tell you if your hard drive is about to fail. It gives you very good diagnostics. So if I use this. If you use a lot of hard drives, if it comes with a lot, maybe it's worth buying it. For one time only, I mean, it's pretty clear your hard drive's dying. I'm not sure you need to buy this, but it's a nice thing to have.
When you get a new hard drive, Katie, I'd say go ahead and go for it. Invest in it, because then you can always take care of the new hard drive while you have it. I'd say exactly what Leo said. Back up while you can, because when those blocks start going bad, it's just a cascade effect, and it just keeps going.
Do read, by the way. As usual, Steve has written a great article on what exactly is going on, why these bad sectors happen, and what to do with the defects, and to tell if it's really a problem, okay?
Okay.
So,
all right.
If nothing else, for free, you can read his articles, because he really knows discs better than any human alive.
Now, Katie, before we go, a quick note. A couple of bad sectors, folks, here and there, does not mean your whole hard drive is failing. But we're talking about rows and rows of sectors
and
building
increasing
upon
and more and more and more.
Yes.
Like it wasn't bad yesterday and it's bad today. That's what's going on.
For one thing, I scanned it one day and it came up with a few bad sectors, and then the next day I scanned it again and it found more.
Yeah, that usually means it's dying.
That's the bad sign. Okay, well, now at least you have some things you can do.
Yeah.
Okay, now will you do something for us?
Sure.
And host the show.
Okay.
Or at least for a couple seconds while we take a break.
All right.
All right. Go for it.
Okay, thanks, Kate and Leo. Patrick Norton is in the house with the start on Windows 98 versus Windows 2000 when the screensavers continues.
Yay! You're fabulous, Katie. Just fabulous. Take the Screensavers Online Super Geek Challenge to learn more about your favorite toy, the computer. This week, what are your high-tech New Year's resolutions? Don't have any, huh? Well, get on it. Oh, take the quiz. To find out what other geeks are wishing for, it's always available at thescreensavers.com. You're too late.
Yeah.
New Year is over.
Yeah, and congratulations to Rob from Carmel, Maine.
Woohoo,
He's the
Rob.
winner of yesterday's Super Geek quiz. He got himself a fabulous Screensavers T-shirt like that.
Like that?
Or one of these Screensavers chapeaus, like being modeled right now.
Make sure, of course, you fill out the form after you've taken the quiz for your chance to win. Toro.
All right, Patrick Norton, ZDTV Senior Technical Editor, joins us right now. Patrick, you've been doing some testing.
I've been. It's benchmark from Hell Week here at ZDTV Labs. Oh, yeah.
Now, first of all, before you show us these benchmarks, tell me a little bit about what you do when you do a benchmark.
Okay, we sit in a dark room.
Yeah.
We get a CD-ROM. We install a bunch of applications on the system.
You use the ZD Benchmark Operation CD that we have right here.
Amongst others, our primary one, the ZDBot benchmarks.
Mm-hmm.
Our big tools for testing systems are the WinBench 2000 and the Content Creation 2000.
That's a new one, isn't it? The Content Creation.
Yeah, it just came out recently. And then
what's the Content Creation do?
What it actually does is it's got a bunch of applications you use like SoundForge. Ever have one of those?
Oh, so it's like multimedia creation, or is it website creation?
It's actually a mixture of multimedia and website creation tools.
Got it.
So it's got audio creation, it's got video creation.
So that's more challenging. That really tests the video subsystems and the hard drive speeds, things like that.
It just beats the snot out of the system. It's
more than just like Word, Excel, and Meet Pro. Or
the traditional Winstone is basically traditional business applications, and now it's Office suites, and it alternates, keeps 2 or 3 applications open. It switches between the applications, it switches between the applications and a browser. I mean, it's a good, nice, healthy workout for a system.
So I want to give you the mouse, and you could show us what you've been testing lately.
So we've actually been testing Windows 2000, and we're looking at Windows.
Now this is the release version, yeah?
Yeah, this is the release. This is the final candidate for release. And
the Gold Master, or whatever it is.
Exactly, and what we're looking at is looking at performance. We took a 450. I'm on speed today.
Calm down.
Coffee.
Yeah.
I took a 450 megahertz Pentium 2 Gateway G6
How much
450,
RAM?
64 megabytes of RAM.
Okay.
We've got an STB128 card in there. So we're talking about a real average system.
Okay.
Nothing too ostentatious. Mainstream.
Now, here's an interesting thing. It was running Windows 98.
It was running Windows 98.
You did the benchmarks for 98, and then you installed on top of it Windows 2000.
Because I love to do things the hard way.
Well, now, Windows NT did not. If you tried to install Windows NT on a 98 system, it would just make a new partition.
Yeah, make a new partition. It would do a dual boot. When Windows 2000 installs, and don't forget this, folks, when Windows 2000 installs, you ain't never going back. Yeah, it's an upgrade. Period. End of discussion. If you want to put Windows 98 SE back on it, get your Windows 98 SE disks and go to town.
Now, I had heard that's one of the reasons it's taken so long for 2000 to come out was they really wanted to get that upgrade code right. That's a hard thing to do.
I'll be honest with you, it's a really, having gone from 3.1 to 95 and 95 to 98 and a bunch of really painful things with Linux, it's one of the cleaner installations I've ever run.
Did a good job.
The fact that it actually sits down, inventories your system, tells you what it doesn't have drivers for, and tells you to go look for them. Things like that. It does a report, so you can stop before you get into too much trouble.
I would still recommend, as always with any operating system, a clean install rather than trying to upgrade your existing Windows 98.
Now, does it change the file system from FAT32 to NTFS?
It'll do FAT32, it'll do NTFS. It's pretty much up to you.
Actually, that's another nice thing about Windows 2000. It sees FAT32 partitions, which NT did not do, and that's a big
That's why you can upgrade from 98SC to 2000.
So what do these numbers mean?
Okay, so we're looking at Windows 7 2000 as your basic business applications. We got 17.4 as an average of running on the Windows 2000 machine and about 15 points on the Windows 98 machine, which puts...
So it's faster on 2000.
About 16% faster.
Now that's because this happened with the Pentium Pro, the first 32-bit processor. It didn't like 16-bit code, so
it hated 16-bit code.
So it would slow it down.
In fact, Intel completely reorganized their pitch on the Pentium Pro because it was a 32-bit processor from the beginning. We were just kidding about that whole 16-bit DOS thing.
But we're still running the Pentium Pro core. That's the P6 core. So these P2s and P3s, until Willamette comes out, are basically Pentium Pros.
Oh, totally. And it's, they live for 32-bit code. The nice thing about Windows NT 4.0 was running about 25% faster at one point than Windows 95. This is running about, so far, 16% faster. We're going to look at some more benchmarks.
So the difference isn't as big.
Difference isn't as big, but then Windows 98 is a lot cleaner than Windows 95 was. There's a lot more 32-bit code in it. The driver development's gotten a lot better.
You would expect it to be a little bit faster.
We can only hope that over time the code will improve.
Well, we can hope, whether it will or not. Now, this looks like an anomaly. Going over to the content creation side, it looks like 98 won.
Honking anomaly. We got like 14.4 looking at the content creation on Windows 98 and like 6.5. So
something's wrong here.
So part of what I'm looking at is I'm going to turn around and look at the memory. We're going to look at some of the tasks that were going on. We're going to take a look at the video drivers. We're trying to figure out exactly because that shouldn't happen, Leo.
More benchmarks in the current issue of PC Week magazine too, and they're showing, as we would expect, good speed improvement going to 2000. And I have to say, as a dual processor user, I couldn't be happier with 2000 because it uses both processors, and I get great speed on my dual processor system with 2000. In fact, I'm not going back. It's really wonderful.
Well, you can't, so there you go.
Well, I did see I have partitions.
Well, sort of.
I would recommend, I'm really serious about this, keep your old Windows 98 partition if you've got to have those Windows 98 programs, because not all programs do work with 2000.
That's, no argument. Definitely go through. They've got a really good website where they're trying to list. They're doing their best to list a lot of the incompatibility, a lot of the system, the hardware that has and doesn't have drivers.
Other thing I would suggest, 128 megs of RAM.
Yes.
Don't try this at home with 64. No. Patrick, thanks for the numbers. We will look for more Windows 2000 coverage from you. I don't care what Josh says. We're doing it anyway.
All right.
And I think when it comes out, February
17th,
we're going to be probably spending a lot of time talking about it because I have a feeling people are going to want to know. Patrick Norton, ZDTV Technical Editor, thank you for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Nathaniel. And now you can join us for this part. Here is Sumi Das. Are you doing a Sumi? Hello. Here is Sumi Das with a robotic vacuum that goes places you can't on today's Fresh Gear.
Sometimes technology seems to complicate our lives rather than making it simpler. Isn't it easier to write someone's name and number in a plain old paper address book rather than going through multiple steps to enter it into a PDA? And what about cell phones and pagers? Do you really want to be reached at all times no matter where you are? While some technology can be a mixed blessing, there is at least one tech concept that most everybody will welcome with open arms. Longtime vacuum maker Eureka has developed the Robot Vac, a robot that will perform the much-dreaded chore of vacuuming the house without the assistance of human supervision. Looking a lot like a droid straight out of Star Wars, this circular bot measures 15 inches in diameter and is small enough to fit in those hard-to-reach and frequently neglected spots.
It'll get places that I can't normally get or I don't even think to get. Behind chairs, up against the baseboard, behind a piece of furniture that I would never, ever be able to reach and not even think to try to reach when I'm just doing my normal vacuuming.
But squeezing into tight spaces isn't the only bonus.
The Robot Vac is wireless, unlike this conventional vacuum cleaner, so you don't have to worry about being constrained by outlets and the length of a power cord. And have you ever tried to change the bag on a vacuum cleaner? On some uprights, it can be more difficult than it should be.
But on the Robot Vac, the top lid snaps off for convenient access to the filter bag. And a shock-absorbing bumper ensures that it doesn't get too many dings and dents. So how exactly does the Robot Vac manage to maneuver its way around a room? There are several components at work: a microprocessor, software, and radar to help avoid obstacles such as tables and chairs. To start vacuuming, simply switch it on and set it down on the floor. The Robot Vac first hugs the perimeter of the room and then crosses back and forth. Unfortunately, it's not quite agile enough to handle stairs yet. When not in use, the Robot Vac sits in its charger. It requires 2 hours to fully charge up and will then last for about an hour, which is much longer than most of us can stand vacuuming. Now, if only it did windows.
Way to clean up during a party, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't even knock over the wine glasses.
Yeah.
Sweet. You can get him, what? You're having a thought.
It'd be an interesting thing to have at the party, vacuuming while you're at the party.
What's this, Fido?
Well, they have them in pools. You've seen the pool vacs. It's no different than that. They're automated pool vacs that do the same thing.
You have friends with pools, huh? You can get your new fresh gear every Friday afternoon at 1:30, 12:30 Central, right here. No, on ZDTV. Would you have bathtubs and
big bathtubs?
Waiting
Me and Kevin Mitchell. Here's an email from. It wasn't a bathtub; it was a hot tub. Here's an email from John. He asks, "I would like to have more confidence that the color of the product I buy over the web are what I expect. What can I do to calibrate my monitor so that the color I see is the same as the color I see on the web? Color coordinating your monitor when the screensavers continues." From John, who asks, I'd like to have more confidence. It's an interesting issue. That the color of the products I buy over the web are what I expect. So can I calibrate my monitor so that the color I see when I get the shirt or the sweater is the same that I saw on the web? Now, there's two parts to this.
John wants to make sure that new eyeshadow he's buying goes with the lovely sweater.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And there's two arguments, two problems with this. First of all, you're not responsible for the colors on the website. So it requires, and this varies, that the website, the webmaster and the production team at the website are doing their best to actually produce colors accurately. Same issues with the catalog. You know, you look at an LL Bean catalog, you can be pretty sure, because they do a good job of production, that those colors are going to be similar to the colors you get, given the differences in media, when you get the sweater at home. The website, same issues, and they have the same responsibilities. However, a miscalibrated monitor can throw that all out. So we're going to show you how to calibrate your monitor, but again, you have to get, the web has to be doing it too.
Now, of course, there are consumer ways to do this. There's a high-end way to do this.
Well, this is what the webmaster would do, actually.
Yes, this is our friend, the ViewSonic Super Press.
I call them color suckers because look what they do.
Yes, it's a color sucker. Now, let's show you.
Now, this is designed for a ViewSonic monitor, so we're going to get bad results here. But
it's going to look weird. But you hit the calibrate button here. We say ICM and Adobe Monitor Setup Profile. Okay, now here we go.
Graphic artists would use this to verify that their monitor is properly set.
Let me show you how this works. You actually push this in, set the sucker right there, then you move the window so that it's right. Oh, actually, you know what? I blew that. Wait a minute. I did that wrong. First thing is you set it down so that no light gets in, and then you hit continue. There we go. Now we put it on. All right.
This is kind of cool, isn't it? Now, these aren't expensive. This is about $650. Now, you're not going to obviously spend $650 to get an accurate color measurement. But if you're doing graphics design, if you're creating graphics for television, for instance, as our graphics department does, or for a website, this is important that you calibrate your monitors. And, of course, they'd buy one and they'd go from monitor to monitor to monitor
there we go.
to make sure.
Okay, I did this a little soon. First, you test your brightness, then you test your contrast. Now you set it on top of the little finches. Remember the dancing finches from Comdex, folks? Then you hit continue. Now, here, it's going to just check your red. That's it, folks. This little color sucker
it's doing it.
Is now going through and calibrating all our colors.
Now, there's a color standard that's used universally called Pantone. And every color in the rainbow has a Pantone number.
Yes.
And what you want is that the Pantone number of the color on the screen matches the Pantone number of the color on the printout or on the website or on the television. So that's what graphic artists do. Now, you obviously aren't going to spend $650 to do this.
No, you're not. Now, there's another thing you can do and run Colorific. This is from eColor. Now, this is really, really cool. Now, I'll show you. This product itself sells for $50, and it comes bundled. Now, it came bundled on our with our 3D Blaster Annihilator Pro.
That's how we found out about it. It's kind of cool. When we installed the Annihilator Pro from Creative Labs, this software came with it, which I think is a great thing for a video card company to do.
Absolutely. Now, so if you check
this out,
work? You can set your brightness and make sure that you can see. Reduce until the furthest set of mountains just disappears. So I think, I think
we're actually pretty good.
I think we're pretty good.
You probably can't see it on TV, but there is a mountain there. You definitely can't. There's a mountain range in the distance there. And the idea is that you're adjusting now the brightness of your monitor so that it's enough to distinguish the slightest grays, but not too much.
Now it says choose these. How do you escape out of this? I forget.
Oh, don't worry about
that.
Let me
go
see.
Away.
You want me to make that go away? Oops.
See, that's what I hate. I hate that about monitors.
I have to now go down.
Now, we're going to go through here and make sure, as you can see, that you pick the color that most fades into the background. Hit next. Go here. Find the color that you think most fades. Which one? This one? This one.
Yes, when you can't see the red dot. A lot of this you can't see on TV, and if your TV at home isn't properly adjusted,
it's going to look funky.
It won't work either.
Now we pick our invisible blocks. Find the one that fades the most into
You get the idea.
As you can see, you run through the whole thing. You tell it what kind of lighting you have, and actually we're about done. Now you have to place the color key, and this is what this is, what I wanted to show you.
We want to match
the brightness. So it'll take you to match brightness, to match color.
They have a website, by the way, which has a lot of this on the website.
And we've all finished it. Now, on the website, there is a free version of this that I'm going to show you very, very quickly. If you go to Colorific, come down here to True Internet Color. Where did that go? Here it is.
And this is the one you want.
Yes.
We've finally gotten around to the one you want.
It doesn't work as well, folks, I will tell you, but you download this product and then calibrate your monitor, and it will do the same thing. We recommend you go with the software version, but this is free.
Well, I think this is sufficient. And here's the thing. It looked hot red online. It arrived hot pink. That's exactly what the question was. DisplayMate has for years done a similar product. We have links to both on our website, so you can do it yourself.
Basically, yeah, the same thing, but that does your monitor and your colors and all your video settings. So check it out. All right. Viewers of ZDTV, hear my please. I implore thee to record and send us a video email. Instructions or scripts are waiting at thescreensavers.com. Just click upon interact to find out more. James, hear me and obey. Good viewer. Good viewer. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Screensavers. Take a peek up there on your screen for the preliminary results of today's poll. So far, you're on, where are you? 55% of you are saying that at home does not deserve the death penalty. Well, you've got 24 hours to vote at thescreensavers.com. Yeah, they're like, oh, I can't vote anymore. I don't want to vote. I want to address something quickly. I don't have an email right in front of me, but I remember that I got one about this. Actually, several. Our Windows tip this week was about previewing multimedia files, the same way that you do with thumbnails.
Very cool tip.
And it was very cool. There was a caveat emptor, buyer beware, in the code, however, that from the programmer that said if you do this, it may hinder multimedia file working. Guess what? You can't move the file.
Ooh,
You can't copy them or
that's not
paste
good.
them or move them from folder to folder.
Another reason to upgrade to Windows 2000, it does that by default, and it does it perfectly without any problem.
So just, know that what you're getting into if you do that tip.
Thanks to our graphics department, by the way, because they put some great color tests on our site. So if you want to do a little color testing, head right to thescreensavers.com. Right on the front page there, we've got some color tests.
Oh, and we're sorry, V-Mailer, about not getting your sound
What happened
here.
to the sound? I think there was a button
But we're going to play you next week. We'll give you another chance.
I promise. Somebody, Joe, is going to build his ultimate gaming machine. He can't decide between the GeForce card that we used and a Savage 2000 chipset that Diamond uses on the new Viper 2. Diamond was bought or merged with S3, and that's why they're going to only use S3 chips. We don't like the Savage 2000 very much. We think that the texture compression technology is not widely used and probably is not going to be a good choice. So stick with the GeForce. That's it for this edition. I'm Leo Laporte.
I'm Kate Patillo. Thanks for sharing. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.